Hey, everybody. How are you all? Good Monday morning. Mid-morning. Cleansing the space a little bit. Crazy hair day. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. How are you all? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, guys. How are you? How are you? All right, let's share out this live. Let people know that we're live here. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome in. We're just getting going. We're going to do some collective card pulls. We're going to do some individual readings. Mini readings are $5. Full readings are $15. Hey, everybody. Hey, guys. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so today we are doing readings. We're doing paid mini readings for $5. I should put that in my sticker. And we're doing full readings for $15. Hi, Marie. How are you? Good to see you. Okay. There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are you all? Happy Monday morning. How was your weekend? We're going to pull a collective. This is the last week that we're using the Mermaids and Dolphins deck. Next month, we're going to have a different. Thank you for the rose, Jazz. Welcome, you guys. Start tapping that screen. I'm going to do a giveaway if we get to 6,000 likes. Cost you nothing to tap that screen. What's happening here? I don't know. Hey, Jazz, I don't do free card pulls. So you can send $5 for a mini reading or $15 for a full. The only thing I do free is an angel message, and I'm not doing that just yet because I'm pulling the collective cards first, which is what I do every time I go live. So we're going to look at the weekly energy first of what the collective can expect for the week. So what's coming in for us for the week of August 26th to September 1st. Ooh, this one says, Father healing. Your personal power increases as you give any father-related issues, good morning, father-related issues to heaven. So, for those of you that may be having some issues with fathers of any kind, or even just the divine masculine in general, because the father wound is anything that is considered a masculine wound. So not necessarily your specific father. Hey, T, we can look at that for you if you'd like. $5 for a mini, $15 for a full. I'm only doing paid readings. I'm not doing free. I don't offer free readings. We're going to pull a card for the day. So the weekly is Father Healing. We'll come back to that. The daily is... How are you guys? Are you guys doing good? Hi, Amanda. The daily is explore your options. It's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make changes. So this is our daily energy today for the collective. So there's a lot of shifting in energy going on right now. And for those of you that follow readers of any kind, be mindful who you follow. I don't care. I'm not one of those people that's like, don't follow anybody but me, but make sure you do research. Don't just like buy into what somebody tells you, because I've had a lot of clients already messaging me that are like, and this happens every time Mercury is in retrograde. I have a whole video on it on my YouTube channel that explains it. But I have a lot of clients already saying, oh, Mercury is going to be out of retrograde on the 28th. So we'll be done that energy, right? No, that is not the case. So every single time Mercury is in retrograde, which is about 3 to 4 times a year, this happens, where my clients are following other people, which is totally fine. No complaints there. Hey, speak of a devil, of one of them. Good morning, Black Wolf. How are you? So just be mindful. This happens every single Mercury retrograde, which happens 3 to 4 times a year, where clients come to me. They're all excited that Mercury retrograde is going to be ending on this date, which this year, it's this time around, it's the 28th, but it's not over. It just goes direct. And then it takes time for it to pick up speed. It takes time to come out of what's called the shadow period. And we'll be in that energy, the lingering energy of it, until September 12th. So whoever you're watching, if they say Mercury is out of retrograde on the 28th, technically, scientifically, yes. But when it comes to astrology energy, no. So be mindful. No, I have been, I'm sorry, Dev, but it's true. This is why I'm sharing it, because every single time Mercury goes retrograde, I have issues with this with clients, because there's so many influencers out there, and I'm not an astrologer, so I'll never pretend to be that. But before I speak about something, I make sure I do my research at least, and I won't speak. That's the teacher in me. I won't speak on something if I'm not 100% confident that I know the information. Hi, Angela. How are you? So Mercury retrograde, it's only technically retrograde. Every time it goes retrograde, it's usually about 3 weeks. But there's a pre-shadow period before, and then there's a post-shadow period after. So it's actually more like almost 3 months that we're in that energy. The technical scientific piece of it, no, we're only in 3 weeks of it. But as it slows down to go retrograde, we're in that energy. Then it goes retrograde officially. Then we're in the energy of the retrograde. So on the 28th, where it's stopping to go direct, it's going to go direct scientifically. We will be out of it. But astrologically, energetically, we're not going to be out of it until the 12th of September. We will still be in that, because it takes time for it to pick up speed and get back to where it once was. The science of it is that the shadow is considered, where was Mercury? It has to do with the numbers. Astrology is all numbers, actually, where every single zodiac has degrees, a position of degrees. Every zodiac has 29 degrees in each one. All 12 zodiacs have 29 degrees. And so if Mercury starts to slow down at, let's say, 1 degree to go retrograde, and then it retrogrades back into the sign beforehand, and then now it has to come forward again. It's like it backs up. Then it has to come forward again. It will not be fully out of that energy until it comes back to 1 degree. So it'll back up 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, and then 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and then 1 degree. And that's when it's officially out of the energy of it. So like I said, it's kind of scientific. Mercury retrograde is the one aspect I consider myself a little bit more of an expert on, because I have been researching it and following it and documenting it for myself since easily 2013, since I found out about it, since I learned about it. And it always affects my clients, which is why I started to really pay attention to it. It really does affect things. So if you're watching people, there's a lot of influencers out there that do both astrology and tarot. If you're watching just an astrologer, they're fine. They'll tell you exactly how it is. But if you're watching a reader and they blend astrology, kind of like how I do, make sure they know what they're talking about, because there's so many of them out there that are misleading people. And then I got into a whole thing about it yesterday, actually, because one of the influencers, she has all the aesthetics. She's beautiful. Her whole space is all pretty, and she's all pretty, and she's all fluffy, and she's very sweet. And she gets all the information wrong about the astrology, and she has 200,000 something followers because she looks good. She fits the part, but she's not authentic. And then people like me, or even like there's this other woman that I follow who does both astrology and tarot readings. I've been following her since 2012. Like me, she doesn't have a big aesthetic. She just has her style, and she doesn't follow the trends. And she only has 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. And her account has existed since 2010. But this other one that I just mentioned, who get the information wrong, she just created an account in 2022. Her YouTube opened in 2022. But because she looks the part, people love it. People love it. And that's the danger of social media, because it's all about how you look, and it's not necessarily about your content. Is your content even correct? And that drives me crazy, because then I have to fight with customers and be like, no, actually, that's not how it works, guys. So you're going to be hearing me talk about this all the time until we get to September 12th, because lots of people don't know this. And it's one of my biggest pet peeves, because people like me who are authentic and tell the truth and don't give you the fluff have to deal with the fallout and pissing people off after the fact, because people don't want to hear that. Just like Deb, no, yeah, people don't want to hear that. I can lie to you and say, sure, it ends on the 28th. It doesn't, but sure, it ends on the 28th, technically. Hey, Keisha, how are you? I'm good. Tonks is good. We will officially be fully out of Mercury retrograde on the 12th. Mercury retrograde energy. Hey, Donna, we can look at that for you. $5 for a mini, $15 for a full. So we're going to look at the astrology for this week. Segueing right into that, I'm going to read you guys the astrology of what we got coming up. The rest of the year, we are going to be in for a bit of a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. If you guys know what that is, it's a ride in Disney. It's going to be a lot. I predict until probably December, we're going to have a lot of shifts. Not necessarily bad ones. But I've been listening to predictions of what's coming, and there's going to be some big shifting and changing. Yeah. So Mercury rules communication, our minds, our thoughts, and travel and electronics. So those are the things, like if your brain has been people haven't been seeing things clearly since Mercury went into retrograde. And it's a lot of people are misunderstanding. That's why a lot of misunderstandings happen during Mercury retrograde. People get into arguments, people get into fights, people get into relationships that they don't see things clearly. And then once that energy passes, they're like, what the hell was I doing? That's why a lot of people get back with their exes during that time, because you miss them. You look backwards and you miss them, and they miss you. And you get back together because you can't see the bad stuff. And then like the rose-colored glasses come off after. Good morning, Ahmed. How are you? And then people are like, oh shit, that's why we broke up. Right. That's why. And then you fall out of the bubble. So that's why I usually say don't commit to anything during this time if you can avoid it. I've ignored literally everything from my past this retrograde. They're not getting me again. Right. So the tricky piece is sometimes, like, I'm not that person that's like, that has an overall general rule that's like your ex is an ex for a reason. Sometimes it was wrong timing, right person, and you guys needed to grow. And sometimes I have absolutely seen that. But the only way to really know that this is the right path for you, like that you should give it a shot, is waiting until, like, you can entertain it, but not like getting fully in until after Mercury comes out of retrograde, because then you'll be able to see it clearly. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I ever told you guys the story about how I tried to buy a house during Mercury retrograde. That didn't go very well. And I knew better. But that didn't go very well. Okay, so this week we have, so starting today, August 26th to September 1st, it says a heady air of heightened romance infuses the entire week. So if you still haven't had your fill of summer lovin', get out there and reap your rosebuds before it's too late. Oh yeah, I was watching something about this yesterday. It has stuff to do with like where Venus is at. Sometimes the right decision in love is not to choose a dutiful, reliable partner, but to opt for someone who is exciting, spontaneous, passionate, and mentally inspiring. If you dare to go outside your sure thing comfort zone on Tuesday, you may actually find someone who thrills you to your core. If you've been under any delusions concerning a suitor, Mercury turns direct on Wednesday, bringing clarity back into your love life. Some. You may need to face the harsh realities of betrayal or deception, but that is better than living a lie. Thursday is a powerful day for finding a long-term soulmate, popping the question, or getting married. Finally, Friday ends with happily ever after. If a white knight or brave princess randomly crosses your path, ride off with them into the sunset to check out new realms of romance. Jesus. You may need to loosen your sense of control in order to open yourself up to love. I do not like the way that they worded this. They don't even explain what's going on. This is probably the worst one because it doesn't explain why. That's a very fairy tale, huh? 5-star week. The summer is drawing to a close, but new opportunities for romance are just beginning. Go out and find someone whose company you enjoy without being overly critical of their tiniest traits. Let love unfold slowly and organically. The top event of this week. Pluto retrogrades back into Capricorn on Sunday. This is part of what's going to be affecting things. Like with the energy that we're going to be going through for a while. This is the final, I don't know what this says, but I can tell you because I've been following Pluto a lot because Capricorn is my rising and it's been affecting me pretty harshly. It's in its last push. It's retrograding back into Capricorn, and then it will never be in Capricorn again once it comes back out of it. So this is like the last little bit of Pluto transforming Capricorn energy. Pluto first entered Capricorn in 2008, and it may feel like this transit will never end. After having moved into Aquarius in January, ushering in a new era, Pluto is returning to Capricorn for a last hurrah until November 19th, when it leaves this sign once and for all, or at least until 2254. Issues regarding governmental and corporate control may rear their ugly heads again during this period, tearing us apart instead of bringing us together. So I was actually just listening to an astrologer talk about this. The last time Pluto went through this kind of movement was in 1776, which was when the United States was established. That was the 4th of July, 1776 is when the United States was officially established. So it was very much about like taking back control from the higher ups, from the authority, from the people that are overhead, from the astrologer her name's Pam Gregory. Feel free to check her out. She can be a little fluffy, but she is, if you can get through the fluff, she's really accurate. She actually predicted, I was listening to her before Biden stepped down. It was like 3 days before Biden stepped down, and she had recorded the video a month before. And I was listening to her talk about the astrology coming up, and she was saying where certain things were hitting in Donald Trump's chart and certain things were hitting in Biden's chart. And she had said Biden's chart was being affected by health, and we might see some things come up there. And then she said Donald Trump's chart was being affected by power, or rather loss of power. And we may see some things as far as like him having legal things pop up. And it was like 2 days after I listened to that, Biden stepped down. And it was crazy because, and I don't like to get political. This is just about a prediction. It's not about I don't want to get into politics here, but it was crazy because when I was listening to it, I remember saying out loud, I was out in my yard gardening and I was listening to it like a podcast. And I remember saying out loud, neither one of them is going to be the president. Like, I didn't know Biden was going to step down. I had no idea. And I literally was like, as soon as she said that, I was like, I don't know who it's going to be, and I didn't feel like I knew anybody else, but I literally said out loud, it's going to be neither of them. Their charts are both so bad. It's not going to be either one of them. It won't be. I don't know who it'll be, but it's not going to be them. And like 2 days later, he stepped down. I was just like, holy crap. What type of readings would those fall under to see things ahead? So those are called progressive. No. Ooh, I don't know what it's called. So basically what she did was she took Donald Trump's chart, we'll say, his natal chart, his birth chart, and she looked at where alignments that are currently in the energy. She compared the current energy, the current astrology chart to his chart to see. So you can do it right now. Like, so for instance, hold on. So Pluto, right? Right now, Pluto is moving it back into Capricorn. Where it's going to affect you is whatever your Capricorn house is. That's where it's going to affect you. So for me, Capricorn is my first house. It's my rising sign. So it hits me in the who I am. The first house is who you are as a person and a big piece of your personality. So it would hit your Capricorn house and then whatever planets are in your Capricorn house. So that's what she did. She compared houses. Like, she looked at the chart with the houses and looked at where things fell when they were each born, and then looked at how it's affecting them currently. I'm not quite sure exactly what that's called, because like I said, I'm not an actual astrologer. Like, I wish I could be, want to be, but I take it so serious. It's such a science that I don't think I'm ever going to know it all. If I would have to stop doing everything and go to school just for astrology, and then eventually I would be able to do it. But there's so much, and unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of just learning that. I wish I could, maybe someday, because it really does. And the thing I like about her, so her name is Pam Gregory. She's very, very big on YouTube. She's older. She's from the UK. And she can get a little bit, the light, we need to stay in the light. She can get a little, just like take that kind of stuff with a grain of salt. But like the actual astrology of how it affects us on the planet, she's been like right on about it lately. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. And I like that she doesn't get into the whole fear. Like, she's not a fear monger, but she does say it like it is. Like, she's talking about Uranus is going to be going retrograde. This doesn't say anything about it in here. I think it's going retrograde this week. I think I need to go get my other booklet, because this doesn't say. Hold on, you guys. Wait, does this have retrograde planets? Uranus. Yes, Uranus goes retrograde on the 1st of September. So that is on Sunday, right? That's the 1st. Sunday's the 1st. And it'll be Stop it. Really? Okay, yeah, it'll be retrograde until January 30th. But so she was talking about that, and then Jupiter is going to go retrograde until February, but that won't be until October. Oh, and then Mars goes retrograde. No. Oh, I didn't realize Mars goes retrograde. Yep. So I was right. It's gonna be a rough end of the year. So looking at the retrogrades here, I haven't looked this far ahead. So yes, we're coming out of Mercury retrograde, but on the 1st of September, Uranus goes retrograde until basically the beginning of February. In October, Jupiter goes retrograde. Uranus is the planet of surprises, shocks, changes, redirections, rebellion. And it's wrapping up in the sign of Taurus. Uranus is pretty grounded in Taurus, so it's not going to change. Like, it's not going to redirect too much or be too surprising. It might be surprising about finances and security, like your personal finances and security. It might shake things up a bit. But in Taurus, it's not too like crazy. But it transitions into Gemini next year, and it's going to be very interesting because nothing's going to keep it grounded. Hey, Susie. So it's going to be a bit wild once it moves into Gemini next year. Jupiter, which is the planet of abundance, it's not just the good luck planet, though. Some people see it as just the good luck planet. It's not. It's the planet that expands. It's the planet of expansion. So whatever it touches, it expands. So if it's touching something that's challenging, it expands that. If it touches something that's good, it expands that. Yay, my sign Gemini. Yeah. Yep. So you might feel a lot of changes, and it stays in Gemini. Uranus stays in each sign for like 7 years, I think. I might be wrong there because I don't know everything by heart, but I remember somebody said that. Then we have another Mercury retrograde in November. And then we end the year with Mars starting its retrograde in December, and that's until March. And Mars retrograde only happens once every 18 months, and it's usually pretty brutal. Usually. I don't want to scare anybody, but it's usually pretty brutal because Mars is the planet of action and war and doing and going. And then I believe we have eclipses coming up. Yep. And then in September, we have eclipse season starting again. So it's going to be a very interesting last like 3 to 4 months of the year. I am going to be offering predictions. Like, I do a wheel of the year, but I could also do like, let's look at the last 3 months of the year for you guys. I can do that too. I'll put that on my website if you guys are interested in that. Prepared to get wild and free, everyone. Yeah, things are going to be shifting a lot, but in a good way. Like, it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be chaotic. And actually, the astrologer I was listening to this morning, she said it might for a little while feel like we're moving backwards a little bit, like with the Pluto thing, because Pluto goes back into Capricorn for it. But once it moves into Aquarius, we're going to be like, it's back power to the people. The power goes back to us individually, which is the way that it worked when the United States became a country. They took back their own power, the colonies, the people. So that's what it's going to be like. That's the theme of Pluto in Aquarius, which it will be in Aquarius for 20 years. So things are going to really look, I mean, in 20 years ago, things looked different. And 20 years before that, 20 years is a big time span. But the world is going to, not just the United States, not just America, the entire world is going to look very different over the next 20 years when it comes to the big picture of things. How are you today, Susie? Sorry, I was really in a astrology like vibe this morning because I was listening to all that. So I was really like vibing it. I was really interested in like listening to all that. So yeah. All right. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards for the day. Next. I'm good. Thank you. How are you? I'm good. I'm doing all right. I have to go get like Sudafed. I've been getting sinus headaches like right here, and it's been bugging the crap out of me. And it's going to for a while. Yeah. It's going to continue for quite a while. That's what I was listening to. I used to do a lot of astrology videos on my channel, but I stopped because they weren't getting a lot of views and it was just too much for me to manage. I couldn't do lives and astrology videos every week and astrology videos every month and posting recorded video. I couldn't keep up with all of it. So, because it's not my main income. If social media became my main income, if it got to a place where I was because I'm lucky if I make $100 every 6 months on social media. So, but that's why I get annoyed with the big influencers who don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they have 200-something thousand followers and 700,000 followers, and they're talking out their butts, and they're making so much money. It's probably their only job. and they're not even realistic. They don't even tell the truth. That bugs the crap out of me. But that's just me. All right, so we're going to pull some tarot for the week, and then we'll pull tarot for the day, and we can look at messages for you guys in a few minutes. Oh, while I'm thinking of it, Wednesday, I'm either going to do an evening live, or I might skip it and do just a live on Thursday instead, because I do have an appointment. Oh, no, I have too many appointments on Thursday. Shit. We might have to just skip Wednesday's live. I don't know. Because I have an appointment at 11. You find that some are good at collectives, but not personal reads, or don't even offer them. Yeah, you want to know why? Yeah. You want to know why that is? It's because with collective readings, you can be vague. That's why. Because I could pull a card right now. Okay, 8 of Swords, right? For the collective. I feel somebody is having a really hard time worrying about a lot of things. They're really stressed. They're stuck in their mind. They're overwhelmed. They're not seeing the solutions to what they have to deal with. They feel trapped. They feel insecure. I could say that. Some of you out there are doing this and that just by telling you the basic definition of the card. And if 100 people are watching, if thousands of people are watching, 10% of them are going to be like, oh my God, that's me. Yeah, because that's reality. So that's why people can do good collectives. And that's why I'm not good at doing collectives, because I tap into individuals' energies. And with collectives, I mean, I could bullshit it. I totally could. But like, because I know all the buzzwords. I know what to say to get people, but I won't do that for myself. Like, I just won't. I can't. I could and make a lot of freaking money, but I don't know. It feels like selling my soul. I can't do it. I can't. Just like somebody had asked me once to do a twin flame coaching session, and I just was like, I can't do that. Like, I could make a lot of freaking money doing that, and I just can't. I can't do that. Hey, Sabana, I don't do free readings, so you can send $5 to get on the list if you'd like. All right, let's look at the collective for the week. What is our energy coming in recommended for the week? We got 1, 2, 5 of Cups reversed, Guardian of Pentacles reversed. 2 of Swords. Yeah, I disagree with the energy astrology-wise. 5 of Cups reversed, Guardian of Pentacles reversed. I feel like this week there's going to be a lot of growth as far as regrets. And what I mean by that is, hey, Rebel, welcome, honey. How are you? What I mean by that is I feel a lot of people are going to get to a place where they're finally starting to see things on a brighter side. They're more positive. There's getting some energy of like things are a bit more clear. That's part of Mercury, yes, going direct a little bit. Having some healing. Because 5 of Cups, when it's in the upright, to me, that talks about we're not seeing what we have. We're not grateful. We're not seeing the benefits of the things that we do have. All we see is what we don't. We see the lack. So with this, I feel like there's going to be some healing there as far as some people are working through problems that they have had either financially or emotionally, maybe more emotional than financial. I do feel that there's going to be some shifting as far as that's concerned, but not major. Minor stuff, minor shifting, little bit of progress. With the Guardian of Pentacles in the reversal midweek, this is the Queen of Pentacles in the reversal. Be careful about overindulgence. This is somebody who spends unwisely, who is frivolous with their resources. Be careful about what